something I learned those days that really helped me. Says that any couple dating couple who spend time, any dating people should spend more time trying to get into each other's hearts, not under each other's clothes. Let me say that again. You should spend all the time to try to get into each other's hearts, not under each other's clothes. And Douglas has said something very powerful, because when we do that, now the motivation, the center of our coming together will always be the physical. And so we get physical, and then the physical becomes just kawaida, and you discover you didn't know this person. Yes, so that is important.
Can I ask maybe the men here about, let me ask them, if you're a guy and you're interested in a lady, and this really is one of the questions here, and you spend a lot of time being in that intimate, physical relationship. I don't know, for you as a guy, how do you look at your wife later on? Because maybe you've had many escapades, not just with this one particular one, but maybe she discovers you are also intimate physically with others, and she was one of them. I don't know how you'd take your wife now when you get married. I don't know if that question is clear.
I think, and Barnabas my elder brother will help me. I think when you focus on the physical, and now you're married, I think, as my wife said, there is trust issues that may develop. So, are you easily attracted by other people? So you'll have trust issues. I think as well that you would have respect issues with the person that you're dating. I respected my wife deeply, and my girlfriend at the time, because she was very clear in terms of what she can and cannot do. And the same way this way. So you then get into a relationship where there's already mutual respect, mutual admiration. It doesn't mean that if you've made mistakes before, the Lord cannot heal you. But you want to make sure that you are building from a good foundation of respect between the two of you. Yeah.
I think there's also the element of the mystery. That mystery must be kept a mystery. And as long as a man is seeing is a mystery, he will keep pursuing. But the moment it is no longer a mystery, and this, I've seen this, we men, that's how we are, that's how we are wired. The moment we have become physical after some time, I'm now looking for another challenge. And you're left hurt. I know women, you sometimes, because of and that's why it's very, very important, like we sang earlier, to know that you are loved. Because many ladies give sex to get love. And men give love to get sex. Many women give sex to get love. Because they are desperate for love, so they think, and men, ladies, if a guy tells you, if you love me, you will run very fast. Yes, that's a lie. Yeah, because the moment I'm a onja, Bas, mambo kusha. Your goose is cooked. Now he's looking for the next thing. So God made it that way. So it's a mystery, and when you're pursuing, you're looking forward. I like what Charlie said, and for all of us, you ask every man. They're always waiting for that. Nowadays when I do weddings, I know Mwachenye. That night, that day, your mind is somewhere. You're just there. You're physically there, but mentally absent. Because this is the hour, this is the moment you've waited for. So finally, the mystery is being unveiled. I think that's the beauty of it.
I think this is for married couples. How do you keep the lines of communication open? Do you have a standard process of resolving conflict? This is a good question, because when we get into marriage, we think we know, but really we don't know. We are starting, we are just about beginning. I found the value in learning, because none of us gets into marriage knowing how to communicate how to resolve conflict, how to deal with the various many multiple issues surrounding marriage. So I would say learn, find ways to learn. If it is books you will read, if it is a seminar, if it is a coach, if it is a marriage group, if it is because I've learned different tools and different ways of communicating or resolving conflict. And there's a group that we meet every Sunday with. Some other 4 different, they're one of the couples, and there's 3 other couples that we meet every Sunday. And we've done this is our 4th year, right? And every Sunday we learn something. Can you imagine? We are married 23 years, and every Sunday we are still learning something. We are still discovering, I shouldn't do that. I can't do that. Or like I discovered 2 weekends ago that my husband doesn't like loud affirmation. After 23 years. I mean, even me, I was like, seriously? You never told me all these years. But he himself didn't know, or he never knew that was a feeling. He never knew how to articulate it until we were doing an exercise with a coach, and we were just learning some things. And one of the things about his personality is that he appreciates the quiet affirmation. When it's just me and him, and I tell him, you're the guy. Ah, man, you killed that thing. That's what he loves. But me, since before we got married, my personality, I shout, woo, that's my husband, go guy, Annie. So you guys know me, that's what I do. Yeah. I discover he doesn't like it. Yeah. After 23 years. So that's why I'm saying the person who's written, because I can't answer it in 3 sentences. You need to learn. We need to learn. You need to learn. Find a place where you can learn, where you can be taught. Whether if it's your pastor who's holding a marriage seminar and says, today we're just going to do communication. Today we're going to do conflict resolution. And you're going to learn how to resolve conflict. And you're going to sit with your husband and develop different ways of doing it, so that you're not shouting at each other, so that you're not banging doors, so that you're not addressing issues when someone is on the way walking up the stairs. By the way, sikupenda vile ulisema, it's not automatic. It's because we have learned what works, what doesn't work, what is good, what is not good. Yeah.
And that's a very important question. Therein lies the success and failure of every marriage. We think we know how to communicate. We don't. We struggle. We're also still learning. There are things that you say, there are things your spouse hears. And they told me communication is what your spouse had, not what you said. So don't just say, usikiangi. The tone of voice, all these things, men, women are different. Earlier on I had to tell Grace, go to the point. Women will go round and come to the point. Me, I'm thinking, this is the point. We are very direct in our communication. Ladies will go round, so I'm thinking, where is that going? Where is that going? So, a husband, male and female. So, husband, you married a woman. So, learn patience. One of the things I've learned is be patient. You story in the So I am there with you. Tunaenda huko, tumeenda Ngong Road mpaka huko, tukarudi hivi pale State House tukakuja hapa. For me, it's been direct up to that place tumefika. So again, we communicate very directly. One time we were sitting with Grace and she says, just the 2 of us in the house. So she says, hey, I wish somebody will make for me. I wish somebody will rub my feet. So but it's only the 2 of us. So please, can you rub my feet? Which other person is this that is going to come from where to rub your feet?
The thing is, I think there's also beauty in the journey. Not just so direct all the time. That's why God made us men and women. So that you can begin to read the coded languages and see, wow, this is what this person wants. This is what this person needs. It is like David with the men in the cave when he said, I wish I could have some water. So the men were like, okay, David would have just said, you 3 guys, go and get for me water. But you see, he said, I wish I could have some water. And this man knew that this is what he's saying. So I think there is also a little beauty in the journey when we go round, and then now we hit it home. And by the way, because we are different, that really used to upset me. When he would tell me, get to the point. And I'm saying, what do you mean get to the point? I have a journey. So you can't tell me, is it that you don't want to listen? Is it that there is contempt? Is it that I'm boring? Is it that I don't make sense? Is it, tell me. Is it, and if you're not intending to have time with a lady, then don't get married. Because I'm lady, for love, our love is spelled time. We need time, a lady, and that's why, look at it, at the Garden of Eden. God made Adam, and then he took time to make Eve. He took time to make Eve. After Adam amezunguka huku na kule, then he decided, this man needs a woman. But I'm sure he did not just say this man needs a woman and he made that woman immediately. He took time. So that's how love is spelled to us ladies. Give me time. Because I want time. And with time, you will go round the circles, listening to all the mushenes, and then we come to the main point. Of course, we know we have to also be cognizant that we don't have the whole day. Maybe you're rushing to work. But then, create time when I can give you all the mushenes in my life. Okay, the next question is similar to what Shirley talked about, and that's really how do we handle conflict? Is there a point in your union when things got really bad between the two of you and you seriously considered to call it quits? How did you navigate that period? How did you relate thereafter? Yes, there are times when I felt I needed to call it quits. And I remember one particular one. There are many times that I felt that.
After 30 years, then?
After 30 years, when I felt this thing ain't working. This thing, somehow, imelegea, inaisha. And I remember one particular time, early in our years of marriage, when, again, going back to the time, Barnabas would go out for ministry. And I felt that ministry was really taking the time that we needed to share with each other. There was a lot of energy that was being poured into their ministry, and that now maybe to answer that person could be the work that your husband is doing or your wife. There was a lot of energy that was being poured into ministry. It was a noble thing, but I knew that, hey, if this continues, there is no marriage. And so one time he came home, and I'd been talking about this over and over and over again. We are not spending time together. We have one child. I feel like I'm a single mom. I feel like we're just not going anywhere. And the more I say, the more it's not happening. I even told him now I'm going to come to the church office and book an appointment with the church secretary so that I can see you. Because I think that's when there's going to be a wake-up call. And one time he came home and he found it was too much. We had been having conflict. We were not resolving the conflict. We were just going round and round. And I had packed and I was leaving. And I told him, this is the day. I just can't hack it. I can't. I'd better go back to my mother. If you're really ready for this, you come for me. We'll start all over again, or you'll see how you talk to my parents. And that was a wake-up call for us, because it was either make or break. But I remember us sitting down and saying, what is it that we have not done in this home, in our relationship, leave alone the child. The child is another story in itself, because he needs a father. He's a boy. He needs a father in his life. And I remember we talked about it. It was a wake-up call for him. We had to sit down and really go through what is it that I desire. Because I came into marriage with certain expectations. What do I desire? What is his desire? What is it? How do we negotiate and work this out? I don't know. What did you feel at that time? Maybe
what did I feel? Yeah, it was a wake-up call. So suddenly I realized that Grace used to say this, my husband has gone to be with the Lord. Because I was always with the Lord. Doing the ministry, work of the ministry. I was young, I was 32 years old, just joined, this is the dream of my life. I had dreamt of one day being in ministry. So I'm in ministry and I am saving souls. I am there. I have to be there for people, even on Mondays when I'm off. So that was a wake-up call that shook me to now begin to prioritize our time together. And there have been many more. So every marriage, there's always a season where you are shaken to certain realities. Unfortunately, some people don't take that, and when you don't take action there, then it's going to be downhill. But there are those moments where you are shaken to certain realities. So sit down and talk, and please, if it comes to a place where one person has refused, or it is abusive, or it is just, then that one, please, we're not saying that you stick somewhere until you are killed. No. Please, if it's become violent, no. Just ask for a separation, step out. Because that can easily end up destroying you. If you're emotionally, again, I know we know about physical violence, but there's a worse one, emotional abuse. And I know emotional abuse is worse. It can destroy you. You can begin to second guess yourself. You can begin to, just think, and some people have other issues that need, by the way, you need help. You know, just like your body, when you're physically not well, you go and see a doctor. Now, research has found that by the time people are coming to see Barnabas and Grace, this problem has been there for 6 years. Imagine 6 years, and you've just carried something. So please, it is not wrong, it's not bad. Just the way you go for medical checkup, you go to see a doctor, ukisikia maumivu kidogo, even marital issues, see somebody. See somebody who's qualified. Now, somebody is not your parents. Somebody is not your siblings, because blood is thicker. Those ones will support you. Somebody is not your peers, because sometimes the advice they may give you also may not help you. Seek somebody, seek a professional, because yes, there are situations where you could be dealing with worse things than you think.
So again, going back to knowing that we are different and we have come from somewhere where there is a background. So there could be some background issues. There could be some childhood wounds. And so you're not just dealing with this person, you're dealing with what is beyond that person. One of the things that we discovered then, or even we have discovered in the years after that, is that we did have childhood wounds. I feared. Remember, I was coming from a relationship, a broken relationship. Just before marriage, I was coming from a broken relationship where I was engaged to be married. So my then boyfriend discontinued the relationship and he left. So here I'm in marriage, and I'm seeing this person is not interested. He's more interested in his work. He's almost like married to his work, which is ministry. And how do I question ministry? Because ministry is to God. If it was another company, then yes. But so in my life, I'm thinking, this guy, before he leaves, let me leave. So in going through that, I needed to deal with what is going on here, but not just here. I needed also to deal with my fears. And one of my fears was being left or being dumped in marriage. So I needed to deal with that. So there was not just a one thing that we were dealing with. There were many things that we were dealing with.